Hello friends, Lee here from TableTop Bong. Thanks for joining me. In this video, thought we could hang out, have a fun sesh, and we can check out the Uni 3.0 from Yocan Black. The Uni 3.0 is a portable mod designed to power your vape carts. And let me tell you what, my friends, this thing does that in a very sophisticated manner. So I thought, being that this is, a little bit closer to the top tier, I would say when it comes to vape cart battery ideas, it's a little more sophisticated. It definitely makes sense to spend a few minutes going over it and showing you guys exactly what to expect with these mods. I think it's like anything. When you consider, how much are you going to spend on a mod? How much do you need to spend on a mod to get a good quality product? Well, there's all different price points, of course. We understand that and we know that. This coming in a little bit higher in the price point, I did expect, honestly, to get a better experience out of this. And we're going to talk about that as we go through it too. So let's just start with coming up close and personal, and we'll just take a look at the finish on this. Okay, so that's the green. There's a blue, and then there's a white that we're going to unbox. I haven't opened the white yet, so I thought we could open that up together and we can look at what's inside the box, and you'll know exactly what to expect if you decide to pick up one of these portable mods. So let's look at the display on this, the OLED display. Okay, so you can see that's a really, really cool display. Down here you have a puff counter and your resistance. You have your battery. You can tell, by a quick look there, what your battery is, and you actually have the full percentage as well right there. So you have really the information that you want to have right at your fingertips. You have it right there on that super cool display. This display is also, there's a few different options of what is being displayed on the screen, along with the information that you need, like, what temperature you set at, what volts are you set at, whatever. So this is adjustable from 1.8 volts all the way up to 4.2. Okay, so 1.8 all the way up to 4.2. And you can see you can adjust that anywhere in between that you want to stop until you're getting the exact perfect experience. It also has a built-in, if you do a double tap, I'll show you here, double tap. Now you have a 10-second preheat at 1.8 volts, and it counts down from 10. Look at how elegant that is, eh? That's super cool the way that works. And then, of course, it does the full 10-second preset, and then you're ready to take a puff. You don't need to use the preset, but for me personally, I'm somebody who is really, really quick to cough. So vape carts have been a bit of a challenge for me, being somebody who is quick to cough, right? Typically, I'm running everything through some kind of a water piece, which I'm also doing with vape carts too, by the way. But I like to run things through water because I find I get the terp tickle pretty quick. And with vape carts, that is typically quite prevalent. With the 10-second preheat and running this on the highest temperature being the 4.2 volts, I find it to be extremely smooth. So let's talk about what's going on here. Let's talk about, okay, so we have an up and a down, right? We have up, down, so that you can change your settings. You have your fire button, right? Then you can preheat with a double tap. You can also change the background, which we'll do. I'll show you that in just a second here as well. I just need to let this run out now, now that I actually tapped it. Okay, we're back. If you tap this 4 times, you come into this different mode, and then you can select, and now you have a different backdrop. So there's 3 different backdrops available. Look at that cute little kitty in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always think I'm hitting the button 4 times, and it's like 3 times or 5 times. So I have to actually pay attention to it instead of holding it out like that. It turns out I'm not always the best at holding it out and pressing the button. You wouldn't think that'd be that challenging, but turns out sometimes it can be. All right, so let's look at this. What is this part up here? This is a wheel that turns. It's on the front and the back, so you can grab it and you can twist it. When you twist it, watch what happens here. See that close in around the vape cart? Now it's holding that steady. Okay, and then you can open it up, and then you can just straight pull the vape cart out, and in what you do is you thread this magnetic piece onto your vape cart, and then you just drop it down into the hole. It magnetizes, and then you just spin the wheel to lock it in, and you are set. That is how easy it is to change your vape cart. And as you can see, this is completely adjustable up here as well for different sizes of tanks. You can go right up to 16 millimeter, I believe, is the size that will accept. So like, there's some pretty cool things going on here, right? So let me show you something else down here. Okay, see this? Watch the vape cart. I'll just open this up slightly. So now you have a completely different look. You have that vape cart dropped down deeper. So it's a little more incognito this way, right? This really just kind of looks like when people are, you know, vaping nicotine juice in their pod vapes. This really is doing a pretty good job of mimicking that experience. So it, you know, offers, I guess, a little bit of like incognito, but right in front of you at the same time, if you're somewhere where you need to be a little more discreet. So that's always a nice feature, in my opinion, to, you know, be able to be a little more discreet. I wanted to show you as well. It looks like here, you can thread a handle on this, right? Like, and I'll show you when we unbox it. I just wanted to mention that too. So like, there's a lot of features going on with this, right? You can change the display. You have a 10-second preheat. It's completely adjustable. It has a super cool display. Inside the device, you have a 650 milliamp hour battery. So what that means right now, I've had about 50 puffs roughly. 49 puffs, and I am at 50% battery. When I use this, I am always using the preheat. I don't use this without the preheat. So that's kind of, you know, you can probably get 75, 80 good draws. And when I say that, we'll do it. So preheat like this, and it does the countdown. And then when that's done, you can either draw on it this way, right? So we're talking like 80 puffs like that. That's more than I think most people are going to go through in a day. That's for sure. So I think you can probably get away with a single charge per day, and it has the USB-C charge, so then you can just recharge it and you're good to go. I'm going to show you guys what happens if you want to rip this through a little water piece. This is my favorite way of using these vape carts. Using the preheat is really nice. So what I've done is I've just added to this little DeskTop Bong in black and tan. I've added a 14 to 10 millimeter glass reducer in the top so that I can just preheat the vape cart and drop it in just like that, and it sits right in there, and I can go ahead and rip it. So I'll show you what's going on with this. Now, when you press the button and you draw on it, I'll be able to watch the counter for how long the draw is. So this allows me, when I'm ripping it through a bong, to be removed from the mod itself, and I can watch, and I can, you know, create a consistent experience. I can watch the screen when I rip it. And I can watch the counter. So when I'm watching the counter, what it does is it allows me to get an extremely consistent experience. If I want to, you know, I don't want to rip on it too long because I don't want to pull all of the liquid out of the cotton and keep ripping on it. So I might want to, if I'm running it through a water piece like this, for instance, I might want to draw on it for 2 to 3 seconds, but not really any longer than that. I want to, you know, flip it back up, right, and allow it to pick up some concentrates again. But what I'm finding with this particular portable mod, I'll show you the blue color up close too here while we're talking here. It's kind of a bluey purple. It's really quite attractive. What I'm finding with this, because it's such a smooth experience when you're ripping on it, it allows you, for me personally, it allows me to take a bigger draw. I can take the concentrate vapor in a little bit deeper into my lungs. I don't feel the tickle as much in the back of the throat as I do with other vape cart batteries, I suppose. So this allows me, like I said, the bigger draw, deeper inhale, and I just find I'm getting more medicated from the same amount of vape cart inhales using this particular mod than I am with other ones because of the smoothness. Right? When it's a really smooth experience, you can really just, you're not taking it in and then coughing it out absolutely instantly, or not getting it all the way into your lungs and absorbing. You know, these little things, they all matter in the experience. So, you know, you pay a little bit more on the front end for a portable mod that's a bit higher quality, but every time you rip on your vape cart, you enjoy the experience a little bit more, and you get a little more medicated from the same amount. So, you know, in the long run, if you're using a higher quality portable mod like this, and getting smoother draws off of it, and you're holding it in longer, bigger experience, it's going to save you money in the long run too. Let's go ahead and let's unbox this white one, and let's just look at exactly what you get in the box. These things are super cool. All right, so it just slides out. It's a nice box here. It has a embossing of Yocan there. And then you open it up. This is something that Yocan is very good at doing. They put a sticker on the devices that give you a quick rundown of the functions to get started with it, so you don't need to look at anything except the sticker that's on this device. And then they put a QR code that will take you right to the website and will give you help to get going as well. So you don't even need to go any further to get started than to open the box. So let's pull the white out. Oh yeah, that's a really, really nice looking. Really nice. Okay, and then we'll pull this part out. Very gently, I will. Okay, so then here's your little USB-C charging cable. This is your magnetic piece that you thread your vape cart into, and then that is what will stick it in there. I can't read what this is. And then you get a little instruction pamphlet, lets you know everything you need to know, and gives you the QR code here as well, in case you've taken it off of the front without scanning it first. So you basically are getting what you need. You know, the basics in this kit. You're getting your magnetic piece, you're getting your charging cable, and you're getting the portable mod. So, you know, for the price point of this, I would say, honestly, if you're somebody who enjoys vape carts and it's something that is part of your experience on a regular basis, I would highly recommend considering, you know, something that is a little more, what's the right word? A little more sophisticated, like the Uni 3.0 is. What it does for me personally, I don't know why I just put that back in the box. I just felt like I needed to for some reason. Anyway, okay. When I'm using the Uni 3.0, and this is probably the point right here, I find that it's much more like a concentrate experience than it is like a vape cart experience. Typically, the mods have been the limitation, because you think, man, concentrates hit so hard when I'm dabbing, but if I hit a vape cart, it doesn't really do anything for me. Okay, when you step up with something into this quality, all of a sudden a vape cart starts hitting more like a dab. Like very much more like a dab. I can typically hit a vape cart as much as I want, and I'm not getting overly medicated. When I'm using this, I'm hitting it once, twice, and I'm good for quite a while. So it definitely does step up the game of a vape cart and bring it much more in line with the dabbing experience. When you do decide to, go that one step further and upgrade your game with a portable mod like this Uni 3.0. So I'm definitely a big fan. I don't see myself going back to tiny little batteries. I see myself sticking with a high-end product like this Uni 3.0, where it's given me that full dabbing style of experience out of a vape cart. I'm super impressed with how this thing hits, how convenient it is. I've shown it to a couple of other people, and everybody who's checking this thing out is like, yeah, man, this is a really, really cool battery. Like, this is definitely worth checking out. It's worthwhile for sure. So I wanted to give this thing a full thumbs up. Definitely let you guys know that these exist, and it's definitely worth checking out, even though they're a little bit more money. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this and got something out of it. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, take care.